Hey, what's up? This is Introverted Smiles, and I'm giving a shout out to Converted2Islam channel. He has 30,000 subscribers, and he recently, in less than 24 hours, revealed that he has left Islam, but he did it in such a great way that I had to give him a shout out. He was still saying, "Peace be unto you. I only wish peace on the Muslims. This is why I left Islam." And basically, in a nutshell, I'll put the link in the description, but he was saying that it was mainly the hadith that said that Muhammad's companions asked Muhammad if they could have sex with slaves that were defeated in battle. Their husbands were defeated in battle, and the companions were hesitant to have sex with them. So Muhammad said it was okay. And this is a issue that troubles a lot of ex-Muslims, and that's why they also leave the faith as well. It's hadiths like this. He's coming from the moral standpoint of it, and it also seems that he has a problem with the concept of slavery itself in Islam, and this is something that we honestly need to discuss. I don't think any Muslim, I would say the majority of Muslims, don't know about these hadiths, and it's something that we need to tackle and address from a moral standpoint. A question I'll often ask is to a Muslim is, are you willing to let the Taliban apply this hadith? For example, let's say the Taliban are in war and they capture some slaves, and let's say that slave was your sister, for example. Will you be willing to say, this is from God? This is what I should do? And that's pretty much the question. Now, a lot of Muslims don't really know how to answer this. So I ask Muslims to question the validity of hadith in the first place. Is this hadith moral? And the answer I got from the Imam when I ask this question is usually, well, the sex is consensual between the slaves and the person. So this is something that troubles us, because if you just defeat someone's family in war, are you willing to have one of your family members, whether it's your aunt or your sister or your mother, have sex with the so-called enemy immediately? How would you feel? Let's say if you had American soldiers invading a Muslim country, and they had they had this belief of wanting to have sex immediately after you're captured. And I would say, from the moral standpoint, if I was a woman, I wouldn't feel comfortable with this rule. So I love the way that he laid it out. He read the hadith in Arabic and English, and I called the Muslims to who's watching this guy. Don't react violently. Don't take offense to what he's saying. He's just speaking his mind. He's speaking what he finds to be the truth. And for those Muslims that lend him an ear and that are open minded, I applaud you. I really do. And I see a lot of change lately in the Muslims in my comments. They're giving me support and saying, you have some good points. We have to talk about this. So I am really proud of that. I still have, of course, the Muslims. I understand, like, when I call out your religion or your way of life, it's like as if I was insulting your father or I was insulting your mother. And that's definitely not what I intend to the case. I don't intend to hurt anybody, but it's just the way it is. When I question my beliefs, it hurt me deep down inside. It hurt me deep down inside. So there has to be a point where you have to be willing to be offended for your beliefs. And all I have to say is, let's talk about these hadiths. Um, let's talk about the concept of slavery in Islam. Is it moral or is it not moral? So this is the question. Um, you have to put together the context of how Muhammad lived his life, and the Quran and the tafsir and the hadiths in context, the full picture. You can't just continue to cherry pick other verses from the Quran that have nothing to do with what is at hand. So this is what I call all Muslims to do. We have to make some changes in our people. I still consider the Muslims, I understand what it was like being Muslim, right? So I don't call for bigotry against Muslims. And this is to the other subscribers of mine as well, who just have this mindset, oh, let's just nuke Mecca, let's just kill everybody. Uh, any of that stuff. I don't promote that on my channel. I'm not closed minded like that because I know what it was like to be a Muslim. And looking back at it when I was Muslim myself and devout, now I understand what people thought of me. They thought I was just this crazy, evil person. When I showed pictures of myself with a long beard and wearing the Islamic clothing, people are like, wow, you look like a really scary person. And I just wanted to say, you don't have to be scared of Muslims in our country if they're willing to have a dialogue, if they're willing to be peaceful as well. It's not like they're using this concept of taqiyya, which I think is a very overused term when it comes to non-Muslims applying that to Muslims. It's more of that Muslims don't really know their religion, and you just have to be there willing to talk to them. And you have to look at it from a scholarly approach and look at the text itself and question the text. For example, is it very moral for Muhammad to have sex with Aisha when she was 9 years old and he married her when she was 6 years old? Things of that nature. We have to have these types of discussions. So I just wanted to say, hey, converted to Islam, brother, if you're there, I'm willing to talk because I studied this text as well. It's not like I just an angry. Well, I guess I do appear angry on my video sometimes, and I'm trying to tone that down, trying to control that, and let's get back to the core issues of the text and make this thing work. So I just say thank you so much and peace out to everyone.